We wanted to talk about what has made the Island Packet underbody so special for nearly 50 years. And obviously, it's a one-piece hull and keel, so there are no bolts or anything. There's no way that the keel can fall off. All right, so and then the motion of the boat is brought on by the full keel. Now, the traditional boats, were a full keel that basically comes off the bow and goes down almost, at more of a 90-degree angle, and then comes down straight through here. What Bob Johnson did was he modified the full keel, and we call it modified full keel design, to where he cut away the forefoot to provide tacking and turning. So the older classic boats that were actually full keel boats, like brands that start with an M, you had the reputation that you'd have to turn on the motor to make them tack or turn, and that's not true with Island Packets. It never has been, because of the modified full keel. But what you get from a full keel boat is you get a very sea-kindly underbody, and you don't have this flat bow section here like you do in the fin keel boats. And if you can imagine, when you're on the waves, the bow will come up, and it will if it's flat, it's going to obviously hit and slam, and it causes a sensation through the boat that is not comfortable. And the modified full keel of the Island Packets, you see that it has more keel that can stay in the water. So when the bow lifts up and it comes back down on this keel portion instead of coming back down on a flat bow, and it basically slices through the water instead of slaps on top of the water. So what we have here in the demonstration today is a 349 that we have almost finished. We're prepping the bottom here for bottom paint, and besides that, the boat's pretty much ready to go. For many decades, Island Packet never even offered a bow thruster, and then in the late 80s, early 90s, Bob did start offering a bow thruster, which was a very great idea in my mind, and made the boats easier to dock. Before that, it was like owning any single engine power boat or trawler, where you'd have to basically do all your turning going forward and try to back straight. With the bow thruster improvement, it allows you to come up to your slip or to a point and just move the bow with the thruster versus trying to do it by momentum moving the boat in. So it was really a great improvement as a dealer back when he did that, and it allowed much more comfort for our owners and allowed the boat more maneuverable. We actually teach our owners how to use the boat, dock the boat, and maneuver the boat without the bow thruster if they like. But you know what, when you're in a really tight spot docking and there's a pretty stiff wind, it's really nice to have a bow thruster. It's optional. This one is the side power bow thruster. We also offer the jet thruster bow thruster on the 349 model. So as you can see, the shape of the keel, you can see that we use bronze through hulls, so there's no plastic through hulls or anything like that under the waterline. They're all bronze. We are now switching to Marilon on the 2026 model. This is actually a 2025. This gentleman did do the ivory hull side with the navy boot stripe. So the one-piece hull and keel allows us to put ballast all down in the bottom. We only use lead ballast, which is very dense, and we put that down in the bottom portion of the keel. Then we come over with a mortar mixture to stabilize it all. Then we come over with a couple layers of fiberglass, and we've literally had owners that have reported to me that they've knocked out the bottom foot of the keel, and some of the lead fell out, but there was never water inside the boat. So literally, you can have major structural damage. In fact, you could pretty much cut off this entire bottom of the keel, and there would never be water enter the boat. So you have kind of a double bottom somewhat. So very protected, very sea kindly, very nice motion through the water. And then the other advantage is we're able to protect the propeller. We're able to protect the rudder. And this particular model has a skeg design rudder. And of course, all the boats we build have the rudder shoe. The rudder shoe does not support the rudder. The rudder is supported with the rudder bearing here on top. The shoe provides protection. And we've had literally owners that have beached the boats. They've grounded the boats multiple times. They've hit jetties, they've hit reefs, and there's no water penetration inside the boat. So in our minds, Bob Johnson developed a really great cruising underbody, and that's what sets Island Packet apart from the other cruising boats out there. You're not going to have a keel fall off on you. You've got a nice protected rudder. You've got a nice sea kindly ride. You've got a boat that doesn't heel over as much because the ballast is down low and there's enough of it. So our heel is usually 15 degrees max. And most of the time the boats are really between about 8 and 12, so about 10 degrees. The sea motion of the boat allows you to hold on less. And what we've learned over the years, I've been around Island Packet now nearly, 40, 45 years, is that people make mistakes when they're cruising when they get tired. And you get tired from having to hold on, from not sleeping well, from not eating well, because your boat is pounding through the water. And then the Island Packet owners always tell me, Darrell, we're sitting here having dinner, having coffee, having a latte, and we pass other boats that are, they're just being the heck beat out of them. And they end up getting there to the destination after the Island Packet, even though they're supposedly a faster fin keel boat, because they got beat up so bad offshore. And when they get there, they're tired. They're beat up. I mean, they did not have a nice trip. As we're in an Island Packet, what our owners tell us, in my personal experience, and Harv, our captain, who has 30,000 miles on these boats recently over the last few years, says that this is one of the most sea kindly boats he's ever been aboard. And that's all about the great design that Bob Johnson originally did. So that's about it on the underbody. As always, we wish you guys God bless, and this time a Happy New Year. Take care.